City of Stevens Point Public Protection Committee meeting, recorded Monday, May 11, 2020.
I'll call the May 11th Public Protection meeting to order. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Jennings.
Here.
Nabel.
Here.
Kneebone.
Here.
Leek.
Right here.
Fischler.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. The first item on the agenda is the license list, and we have A, B, and C. I would like to take each one of these individually. Starting with number A, or the first letter A, are new operators, i.e. bartenders, licenses, and 2-year operator license renewals. Chief Zinner, or AC Zinner, do you have any, no issues?
Nope, no
Any
issues.
comments? Any comments from the committee? I see none. Any comments from the public?
There's nothing in the chat room either.
All right, I'll bring it back to the committee. What are your wishes?
I'll move to approve.
I'd move to second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Next on the license list are temporary Class B license. This is a picnic. This is the Wisconsin League of Muskie Anglers holding an event on June 24th, 2020. This is a change of date. Chief Zinner, did you have any issues with this?
No issues.
All right. Any comments from the committee? Any comments from the public?
Nothing in the chat room as well.
All right. Seeing none, bring it back to the committee. What are your wishes?
I'd like to move that we approve the temporary Class B for the Wisconsin League of Muskie Anglers.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying nay. The motion passes. C is the 2020 to 2021 Class B beer and liquor applicants. This is for beer and wine and fermented alcohols. This is a license renewal that happens every year. Assistant Chief Zinner, did you have any questions or any concerns with this list?
No issues with the list.
And when we talked about this before, it appeared that there were 2 missing. Has that been resolved?
I have not received any information. I know they're both open as of now, and I haven't heard any information that they plan on closing. I don't know if we've reached out to the bar owners or not.
Okay. Any questions from the committee? Any comments from the public? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the committee. What are your wishes?
I'll move to approve the Class B beer and liquor licenses.
Do we have a second?
I'll second. Oh,
All right, thank you. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Number 2 on the agenda is a request to hold an event, a street closing. This is Pete's Sports Bar and Lexi's Love Car Show. The event is scheduled for August 22nd, 2020. According to the agenda, this is a recurring event. AC Zinner, do you have any concerns, comments about this?
Yes, the police department does. I don't recall this coming past us. Previously, I did have Lieutenant Mueller reach out to the contact person. Apparently, this is the first year they're going to be doing a road closure. In the past, they have not. They will be serving alcohol outside. It's in a public area. And with the road closure, it's been our practice in the past that we require contractual officers be brought to that location. Be willing to either look at a contractual officer be added to this or bonded security personnel on scene. Also, with this being a road closure, Peace Lutheran is located right next to this building. And if I recall right, that is their front entrance in that same area that they're requesting it to be closed off. I do not see anything within the writing that says they've reached out to Peace Lutheran to ensure they don't have events going on that day that would have a direct impact.
Okay. All right, any further questions from the committee?
I would just like to say that maybe this is not something, excuse me, that we should approve until we've seen that they have done their due diligence of checking with the others that are on that block, especially the church, and that they have secured that they will have somebody that is licensed to act as either to pay for the police to have a police officer there or someone that is bonded. So I would think that we should hold this off for approval until that has been done. So my move is to hold this off and have them complete the information that we need.
So we have a motion. Is that correct? Alderman
Correct.
Abel?
My motion is to not approve this until we get the correct information that is necessary.
So that would be move to postpone. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Postpone.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any comments from the public?
Nothing in the chat room.
All right, bring it back to committee. Any further comments or questions?
I was trying to figure out from the documents here, I can't understand why they need to do this. That is why they need to close off.
The street.
Yeah. It looks like the cars are all in the parking lot, and then there's the beer patio area. Did anyone else? Am I just not seeing it, or?
No, I wondered the same thing.
Okay.
I know they have the classical cars. Maybe that's why they're looking at that, for people to park off of the street and then be able to walk back and forth. But I also think that could cause a lot of problems of people with open containers walking back and forth on the street that is closed off. I just think that it needs to have a lot more clarification why they need that to be closed off. And that they've also, again, definitely need to check with those that it would impact the other businesses.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. I'm going to call the question. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, say nay. And the motion to postpone is carries.
May I ask a question on a situation like this? Who contacts that owner or the person that requested this to clarify what we need before we can approve it?
That would be the clerk. Clerk's office handles the permission requests in regards to this street closing or event. So the clerk's office would contact the applicant, let them know the results. Just so everyone knows, this is a recommendation to council. If the committee feels comfortable or council feels comfortable and the applicant has the information ready for next Monday's meeting, they could, in theory, be allowed to do this even with your recommended motion, provided the council approves that.
Oh, the Common Council. Yes,
Correct.
gotcha.
All right, thanks for that clarification. Moving on, agenda item number 3 is a beekeeper's permit. The applicant lives at 1620 Clark Street. This is actually in my district, and the applicant did notify me prior to applying for the permit, had already received approval from all the neighbors, had drawn up the map. I'm also familiar with the lot as well, and I personally have no concerns with this and welcome more pollinators into my neighborhood. I believe the applicant is here, Jeannie Hill, is that correct?
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Does the committee have any questions for the applicant or any other questions?
No. I'd like to move to approve the B.
Hey.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I just wanted to ask if there's anyone who would like to comment on this from the public. I don't see anything, so I'll bring it back to committee. Do we have a motion?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve the beekeeping permit for Jeannie Hill at 1620 Clark Street.
I would second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all of those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Say nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Jeannie, for bringing pollinators to our neighborhood.
Yeah,
Everybody. And am I okay to sign off now?
yes.
Yes.
Thank you all for hard work for our city.
All right. Number 4 on our agenda is an ordinance amendment, chapter 12.14, sub 13, operator's license, clerk issuance. Attorney Beveridge, could you just clarify this ordinance amendment, please?
Sure. As you did earlier in this meeting and have done many, many times, you had act on the bartender's license applications. The state legislature this spring changed part of Chapter 125 to allow those licenses to be issued by a designated public official. So what this ordinance change would do would be to designate the city clerk to fill that role and allow those licenses to be issued through the clerk's office without the need for, the monthly item on it. Obviously, there's quite a few of them that always come through, and it's very uncommon for there to be any denials on those. And the same background check and, well, I shouldn't say background check, the same application process that we use currently would continue to apply. And there would also be an appeal provision, as you can see in there, in case somebody's application was not approved by the clerk's office.
Any questions from the committee for the attorney or the clerk or anyone else?
Yes. Hi, Cindy Nabel, District 3. I'd just like to state that I did talk to the I'm going to say the name, the clerk, and why they were doing this, and it made a lot of sense. And she explained to me the amount of time that it takes to go from this to it will still always go through the police department for approval. And so I didn't want anybody to think that that didn't still happen. That part of it will still be occurring, but it will save the time of waiting till we have a public, meeting again. And so this way she's able to save some time and they can start going and getting these out right away instead of waiting until they all pile up. So it made a lot of sense. At first I was worried that it was putting a lot more on her job, but she said actually it makes it easier to do it this way.
Yes, thank you, Cindy. Yes, this will actually streamline the process, because when we have an applicant come in, complete the paperwork, sign the background check authorization form, and pay the fee, we forward that on, we issue a provisional license right away. And the provisional is then good until we follow through with the process of of this going forward through the council meeting. So this would actually streamline the process and shorten that wait time for that applicant to receive their regular license. Because as soon as we get the background check back returned from the police department, and which they have a very quick turnaround, usually I get responses back within usually the same day, then we can just go ahead and issue the regular license. So it saves time, record keeping, postage, all of that. So yes, it would be a benefit for the applicants and our office.
Great. Any other questions or comments from the committee? Any questions from the public? Seeing none, do we have a motion?
Alder Nebone here. I will move to approve the city clerk being the person who issue whatever the legal terminology you need in the motion.
All right, do we have a second to approve the ordinance amendment?
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. I would like to apologize to Chief Zinner for the wrong title. You're chief or acting chief Zinner. Sorry about that, not AC Zinner. I'll get it right next time. With that, our agenda is exhausted and we are adjourned at, I think it's 6:20. Thank you, everybody.